going on, everybody? Andrew Thompson here of the Andrew Thompson Interviews YouTube channel. My guest today is a man that you've seen in action wrestling. You've seen him in Major League Wrestling. You've seen him in Maryland Championship Wrestling. This is Lance Anoa'i. Lance, what's going on, Chief?
Man, just living the dream and, trying to live through this quarantine life, man.
I feel you on that. And I forgot to mention in the intro, 10 years, decade in the wrestling business, man. Just tell me, does that ever hold any weight with you, realizing that you've been in wrestling for 10 years, and I'm sure you know that they can easily just weed out people within the first 2 or 3 years. So did that ever hold any weight with you being in the business that long?
Nah, man, the time actually flew, man. I remember still being in high school and even in middle school, this is something I always wanted to do. But baseball was always my dream. But then when I started focusing on wrestling, man, just the years went by fast. I got so many matches under my belt, and I'm just, man, I don't see no time of slowing down. So I think I'd go for another 10.
No, I feel you on that, man. But I know you competed in the WXW C4 promotion, of course, and I know you won multiple championships there. Do you think being there, of course, working with family, wrestling the names that you did, I think Dan Mav, Leo Rush, you think doing that early on in your career really helped elevate your game at an early stage? Of course, being in the setting you were.
Man, for sure. That's my dad's promotion, so that's
right.
that's a good stepping stone for me, man. That's where I grew. So basically, I didn't travel for probably my first year and a half. I just focused on perfecting my craft there at WXW, and then wanted to move on. And then just, man, you always want the first impression to be a good impression. So then once I got comfortable, man, that's when I spread my wings. I just flew around, man. Started wrestling for Pro Wrestling Syndicate out of Jersey, which is now WrestlePro by Pat Buck, Kevin Matthews, and Kurt Hawkins. Man, and then from there, man, I just kept going in Maryland Championship Wrestling. And then Tommy Dreamer got a hold of me, and then I started wrestling for House of Hardcore, MLW, man, WWE. I just been going and just trying to make a living, man.
Yeah, no, I feel you on that. Do you feel like these experiences have sort of the various experiences that you have, do you feel like they've also changed you personally in a way as well? Of course, it's professionally, but you think they've helped you grow personally as well?
Oh yeah, for sure, man. Just to see how people are treated on the road, and every time I hear I'm in a locker room, man, everyone always talks about how I'm from being from such a legendary family, how humble I am.
Right.
And man, that's just how I was raised from my whole family, especially my dad, man. My dad is well respected, and people also feared him at the same time. But I definitely grew, and man, having my own family. I got 2 children, man. That all helped. I just want to be safe and be able to come home the way I left.
Right. Let me ask you this, because I know you just mentioned that you have 2 children of your own. Tell me, but did you have your children while you were still wrestling, or was that prior to professional wrestling?
Nah, I had while I was wrestling.
While I was wrestling. Tell me how having children helped you as an individual. Of course, you were already wrestling, but how did children coming into the picture really help elevate your game or motivate you?
Man, it's something basically to work hard and live for, man. You want the best life possible. Me growing up with my dad, man, he was always on the road, Japan, WWF, with me and my sister. So my mom basically raised us, but my dad was always there. And man, I say, man, me and my sister, man, we were spoiled. We got everything we ever wanted, without a hesitation. And that's basically what I want for my kids. Anything they need, I don't want to be struggling but so it just opened up my eyes, man, and want to give them the best life possible.
All right. And I know last year, I believe it was, I think they had the WXW benefit show for your father, of course, Samu. Just tell me what it meant to you to have, talents from WWE and, of course, various other promotions, I believe, all mixed in. Everybody came there in support of your pops. And, just tell me, what that whole event meant to you overall.
Man, that meant so much to not just me, but I know it meant a lot for my dad, man. We raised a lot of money to help him out with the surgery. He's a little over a year right now from the surgery. He's feeling good. He's doing as much as he can, and man, just the support everybody gave, man. We had a guy from Impact, MLW, man, WWE, Samoa Joe, Cassius Ohno, Billy Kidman, who's originally from. My grandfather trained him, so he came out to show respect, man. And Michael Hayes, just the whole WWE environment, man. Like, they didn't have to do any of that, and they threw out their time, free time, man, and just came out and helped support it. Like I said before, man, my dad was well respected, and I think that's a big part. Like, at times we had talks about Undertaker was gonna come, because at the time they were all good friends. But something came up, he wasn't able to make it, and man, we understand. We know his schedule, we know how it is, but man, just for him, especially Paul Heyman throwing it out also, and him with my cousin Roman right now, man, it's just a respect,
Yeah.
man. And
Yeah.
but putting it all together, man, that was the biggest headache in the world. But man, it was all worth it, because at the time, that's when I did the spot on Raw with Shane McMahon, and literally that was 3 days before my dad's benefit show. So I was already putting it all together, trying to work it all out, get everything down packed, and then WWE called me, hey, we need you out in Kansas City, and that's when I went out there and I did the spot on Raw versus Shane. So man, that like slowed it down, but it also helped me boost, man. Like I seen everybody there, like Michael Hayes, and everyone said that they'll see me in a couple of days, man. And just the respect they had for me, even while I was there, was awesome.
I know that was probably a cool experience, but like you mentioned, the Undertaker, I think a lot of people kind of forget like that connection the Undertaker has to the Anoa'i family through Yokozuna, right? Because he was super tight with Yokozuna, and I Undertaker's been doing a lot of interviews lately, and I think somebody asked him about him, and he kind of got not emotional, but you could tell, that Yokozuna meant a lot to him. You know what I'm saying? So that I think
they were like best friends, man. Like Yoko's kids, those are Taker's god kids. So man, that's how close he was with our whole family, and man, we had ton of respect, man, for him and the whole WWE, man.
All right, yeah, I know that's cool, but I know last year you did have a lot of success professionally as well. I know you won the ECWA Super 8 tournament last year. You wrestled, I know you wrestled one of the Von Erichs. I think it was Marshall. You wrestled Tim Zabisco. And Brian Pillman Jr., man, like I know some generational matchups right there. Like, any fond memories from that tournament that you can share besides, winning it, of course?
Man, the whole thing was memorable, man. Just being in the locker room, man. Like, I'm used to always being like one or two of the generation wrestlers, man. But it was a whole show stacked with all generation, and just to see how well like we carried on our family's legacy. And we put on a hell of a show, man. And just being in the ring with every single one of them, Zabisco, Von Erichs, man. And ever since then, man, I've been close with every single one. Like, we still keep in touch, and especially cool. Brian Pillman, man. He's out there killing it right now. Everywhere he goes, he's making a name for himself. And man, I'll get back in the ring with any of them. But man, it was a pleasure winning the whole tournament. I did probably have the most experience out of all of them, besides maybe Wes Briscoe. But man, I went out there, we killed it, and we put on a hell of a show, like I said.
And you mentioned like the WWE appearance, of course, the match with Shane McMahon last year, and I know you had you did have a couple of WWE trials as well. Like, I've spoken with a couple of wrestlers, man. They say like that WWE trial like is no joke. Like, when they take you down to the PC, it's like they basically push you to the limit to see how hard you can go. Is that true? Like, is it that difficult, or are people kind of like over exaggerated just a little bit?
It's true, man. Like, it pushes you limits like you don't even think you have, man. And I got called for 3 of them.
Right.
Man, so going down for 3 times, man, they basically killed me 3 times.
Right.
So, I went in 2015, 17, and 2019 all down for the whole week. So my first one was with, at the time, I know everybody heard like stories about how hard Bill DeMont pushed everybody, man.
Man, you hear a lot of stories about that.
I was his last tryout class, man. And when I mean that thing was hard, I meant that thing, man, that was brutal. Like, it made everybody want to quit, man. Like, you never see like CrossFit, American Ninja Warrior people, man. Like, you never see like how low they could get till they step foot in that tryout, man. That's how hard they push every single person. But man, we managed, all of us, to get through, and man, just hard work pays off. Like, there's a lot of guys now that I had tryouts with that got signed, and hopefully one day it'll pay off for me, man. But I just keep rolling and keep enjoying it, man.
Yeah, nah, it's kind of funny to hear that, because like I always hear, like I mentioned, like there's a lot of people who always say that WWE trial is like it's legit. But like just to hear another confirmation, I think is just solidified that thing must be crazy. They must be torturing y'all in there.
Yeah, you got to come prepared, man. Like you want to get your body in the best shape possible and be ready.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. But I know you did do some work for MLW as well. I know you did quite a few shows with them. Like, was there ever any? Because I just curious. Like, was there ever any talk of you joining them on a full-time basis? Because I know you did some shows in 2018, 2019. You did a couple shows, and like I was just wondering, like, did they ever try to secure you in for a full-time basis, or was it just like per show type thing?
Nah, at the time it was per show. I was on vacation and they knew I was down. This time they were running in Orlando in 2018.
Right.
I was on vacation and they hit me up. Hey, you got anything going on? And they invited me down, and that's the show I wrestled MJF. And man, from there they liked everything I had. Then they kept inviting me because at the time, back in the day, my dad basically was one of the bookers for MLW. So him and Court Bauer, who's the owner, they're real good friends. And Court, man, he put a big donation in for my dad's whole fundraiser, and tons of respect for him. And I'll help him whatever he needs help with, man. I'm there for him. But yeah, he's always had my back. And the talks were for me to join full time, but I did put it on hold. I didn't know what exactly was going to happen with me in WWE. And they offered me a little bit too many years. I wasn't ready to commit to at the time. But if it comes around, man, like maybe one day you'll see me there full time. Right. But at the moment, man, I'm just going to keep grinding. And, WWE is always my goal.
I think that's kind of like a difficult spot to be in that you were in because you had MLWS on the table, right? But you're making these appearances for WWE and you just not knowing what might happen. Like you in the ring with Shane McMahon and then I think anybody in that position would think, if I do a good job and get Shane, the boss's son, who is another key piece of the company, you would think, next logical thing is, you possibly join it full time. Then you got MLW on the side and I think that's a difficult spot to be in, honestly. But I think MLW should bring you in, full time.
For sure, man. It was difficult. It was difficult, man, because like you said, I did that spot, and then after that, they were talking about bringing me back in for a tag match, possibly against Shane and Drew, man. But I didn't want to lock myself in and lose all that opportunity. So that was one big one I just held on. But like I told Court, I'm ready. Man, if you just want to keep bringing me in, I'm cool with that also.
Yeah, I know, I think that's a common thing that we hit in the wrestling business, especially you guys as wrestlers here, you kind of play it by the ear. You know what I'm saying? Like you believe half of what you're told for the most part. Like somebody can tell you hey, we going to have this lined up, we going to do this. But until it finally happens, you don't never 100% believe it, but you do believe it for the most part. But I was going to ask you, you mentioned MLW offering a lot of years. I don't know if you saw it, but I think it was, I want to say over the summer. It wasn't too long ago. I want to say it was either July or August. ESPN had reported that MLW had signed Jacob Fatu until late 2025. That's a long, that's a long deal, man. I was gonna ask you for your thoughts about that, man. That's quite the extension right there until late 2025. Jacob Fatu ain't going nowhere.
I know, man. Me and him had talks because we tagged together down for Gangrel's Wrestling Asylum down in Florida.
Oh, that's cool.
So me and him are a tag team down there. We're actually going for the tag team titles in a tournament in December down there. But, man, when I found out he was locked in until 2025, man, they must have gave him a lot of money.
Nah, no doubt.
Man, basically, man, he's the heavyweight champion, man, and ain't nobody stopping him right now. Man, he's such a big name. Yeah, AEW could offer him WWE, but I think the spot he's in, man, is perfect because they're going to continue to build around him. He could get lost in the mix in any other company. But, man, he knows he's the top dog right now in MLW, and that ain't slowing down.
Yeah, I definitely think MLW, they kind of knew, once his contract was coming down, they knew that the offer was just going, WWE, AEW. I'm pretty sure a lot of people were looking at Fatu, and they were just like, nah, buddy. It's no, sir, you ain't going nowhere.
They weren't going to give him the chance. Now, I'm sure he could have made a lot more money elsewhere, too, man. Yeah. But, I think he's happy where he's at. He got a flexible schedule, man. He's easy. And, man, he's a hell of a worker. That's all I know, man. For someone his size, he reminds me of Yoko Umaga, man. He moves.
Right. No, 100%. I think I saw one. It was one MLW show. I think it was last November. I think I saw him do a moonsault. Oh, like I was
Off the
like,
cage.
yeah, I was, I was like, there it is right there. I was like, I'm sold, man. I'm sold on Fatu. Fatu is he's crazy good, man. But like, I remember, I wanted to ask you this. I don't know if you remember. This was like, I want to say it was 2018 or 2019. I can't remember when it was, but this was when the Usos were feuding with the New Day, and they were doing like the string of matches, right? And I remember people, they kept tagging you in tweets. I don't know if you remember. They kept tagging you in tweets and making like these little match graphics of the Usos with Lance Anoa'i and versus the New Day. And I was just like, did you ever think anything was gonna come of that? And also like, how crazy would it have been if it would have been, you know, you three Usos and yourself versus New Day and that Hell in a Cell in 2018?
Man, we would have killed it, man. Like, I like to have fun just like them out there, man. And I think between the three of us and, man, the New Day, shit.
Yeah.
That's a good base right there, man. And yeah, man, you never know like what can come, man. Social media is real big right now. And man, once fans get a hold of something, man, look at James Ellsworth, man. Like he went from nobody, and then social media just blew him up, and they offered him a contract, man. Who else? Heck, even Jacob, my own cousin, man. Like, of course, we already bred for this, man. But when that whole video of him beating up the fan went viral, I don't know if you've seen it, man. But that thing went viral, and his name just popped up everywhere, and like memes started coming out with him, man. It was crazy.
I think. Oh wait, was that for that was for PCW Ultra?
PCW,
was that for,
yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I saw that.
Yeah, and I called him the next day, man. I said, man, what happened? He goes, man, like the guy was messing with them the whole night.
That was legit. I thought that was like, you know.
Yeah, it was a drunk fan, and they said he was acting up the whole night, and then finally when he came over, they were ready, and he just popped them, man.
Bad luck for that guy. There you go.
Oh yeah, man. Once you step inside that barricade, man, it's game on.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, like, you speaking of social media game, like, in, you know, the other outlets that wrestlers have nowadays, like, how important do you think it is, especially in this era of pro wrestling that we're in right now, you know, the whole COVID-19 pandemic, how important do you think it is for wrestlers to, you know, start branching out and having, like, the YouTube and being more active on social media and having Twitch and all this other stuff? Like, how important do you think that is, especially for independent wrestlers now, and especially since, you know, I think there's a lot of promotions that's running right now, but everything's not back up in full force. So having those other outlets, how important do you think that is?
Man, I think it's huge. There's so many wrestlers, like there's probably millions of wrestlers out there, man, and they could choose anybody. But I think if you know how to market yourself and push, man, look at what's his name, that Superhuman, I believe his name.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
The guy that does crazy stunts, man. Look how social media now, he's out there getting booked. He won a championship in Florida. Man, like social media is huge. Just basically to market yourself out. I know I'm actually terrible at social media.
I'm right there with you, bro. I'm right there with you.
My YouTube, man, I got matches probably from like 2015 was my last ones, man. But other than that, man, like I know I got to get on the board with it. It's kind of hard, man, because, you know, when you're out there, you're in the moment, and unless the company sends you the footage, it's hard to post. I don't want to get my own camera, set it all up, and because I'm more focused on the match, entertaining, man, and doing what I got to do.
Right. But I was going to ask you, like, specifically, like, when you go to, what I was about to say, but yeah, I got lost what I was about to say. But like, I know you was about to you gonna wrestle at WrestlePro on October 25th, I believe. I think you
24th.
24th. Yeah, you're gonna be in there. I know it's a two-day tournament type thing. Like, how amped are you for that? And like, just being in this COVID type situation, like, are you excited, or like, you know, you kind of nervous being in that situation? Because I know a lot of wrestlers, they kind of on the fence about it, but they still going out and doing it. But it's still like, at the same time, you kind of like real, you know, hesitant.
Man, I actually got I haven't been in a ring since February. That was the last time I was in a ring, and I was gonna take the whole year off, you know, because having kids and family, man. My daughter don't go to school. She's doing the homeschooling, and just going to the ring, like, it's basically unprotected, and I am a little hesitant. But man, at the same time, man, like I said, I gotta push and provide for my family. I work a real job also, but, you know, wrestling also helps put food on the table. And man, I think I'm ready. I think I'm protected enough. I know how to protect myself. If I have to wrestle with a mask on, man, I'll wrestle with a mask. It don't bother me. But I'm ready to start it up again, man. I'm ready to get the ball rolling. And yeah, WrestlePro is just the beginning right now. So I know there's a lot more coming. I'm talking about doing shows out of California, Florida. We got it. Me and Jacob got it in December. That's the one I'm below. It's down in Miami, towards Miami.
Ooh,
So
in that Florida area,
yeah, man. But I'm good. Like I said, I'm very protected. Me and my fiance, man, we're all well aware. I got all the Lysol, all the Clorox, everything I need just to stay safe, man, and protect me and my family.
Right. And I know before we started recording, I know we talked a little bit about Call of Duty. Just tell me how amped you about Cold War coming out, and I think next month. I think Cold War is coming out next month. But how amped are you for the next Call of Duty?
Man, honestly, I just been on Warzone.
I like Warzone. Everybody like Warzone. I like Warzone too.
Me and my cousins, we all be on Warzone all day, every day, and just chilling. And man, I'm actually excited, man. I already pre-ordered it. I'm ready to go. I got my PS5 ready. It'll be at my house on the 12th.
There you go. Yeah, but I actually play. I play Warzone too, but I play the Call of Duty mobile on my phone because it's like I don't know why it's so easy to like just pull your phone out and just get the plan on that. But like I was surprised at like how the graphics are on Call of Duty mobile. Like I think if you looked at it and you tried it out one time, I think you'd be like, damn, that ain't it ain't so bad because the graphics are like kind of really realistic for it to be just a mobile game. It's crazy.
Dang, I never knew they had it on the mobile, man. Yeah, I'm even late on video games, man. All I used to play was Madden and basketball. Other than that, man, I played Call of Duty probably like when the first Modern Warfare came out. And then my cousins got me hooked on Warzone. And, man, ever since then, I'll be on there all the time. Like, after this, I'll probably be right on there.
Now, I ain't gonna lie. I don't know what it is about Warzone. Because I remember at first, I really wasn't a fan of Warzone. And then, like, once I started playing it, I'm like, I don't know what it's kind of addicting. I think it's the fact that it's like you and maybe 3 different people, or you playing by yourself, and then you making it to the very end, like out of 100-some people. I think that's I think that's the thing that makes you like keep wanting to play.
Oh yeah. If you don't get that win, man, and you get close, you want to keep playing and pushing. Like me and my cousin, man, I think we got like 50-something wins.
Okay.
I don't even know if that's a lot, but to me it is because as many games we played, I feel like I should have won more, but still, man, like you always get that 5th, 6th, 2nd place, man, and you just keep playing. I'll be up till like 3 o'clock till I get that 3 o'clock in the morning till I get that win.
I feel you on that. No sleep till you get the W. But like before the COVID-19 pandemic, but were you planning to head down to Tampa for Mania weekend? Do you have any dates lined up, or were you just planning to head down there just for the the whole big shebang down there?
Yeah, basically I was going out there for the whole big shebang. Actually, me and my fiance, we're gonna go down. She never been down to Mania, so I was gonna take her down. We're all just gonna go hang out, chill, and I really wasn't focused on wrestling because, like I said, her first time. I just wanted her to enjoy. She don't want to see me wrestle.
But like I was gonna ask you, like I think like out of all the promotions out there that you could possibly join, I don't know why, but I feel like Impact Wrestling. I feel like you and Impact would do like some real, like really, really solid work together. Like just let me ask you this. So like is being signed something, of course you mentioned being with WWE, but like is being signed something that you're like really, really like primarily focused, like super locked in on, or is it like kind of a thing like, if it comes, it comes type thing? Because I do know a lot of independent wrestlers who are, I think they are fine with where they are right now, working the various promotions, but there are some, of course, who say that their ultimate goal is to end up being signed. Like, where do you stand on that?
Man, like I said, like other than WWE, I really don't want to be signed unless the money is right, man. Like, being on the independent is so much easier. You create your own schedule. You work when you want to work. You're not being told to do this and do that. You're just going out there doing what you want, what you love to do, and perform at your top notch. Like, you don't have someone else writing everything for you. You're there doing it. And that's the one reason why I like not being signed. But like WWE, man, like that's the goal, because I feel like anything after WWE, once you make it to WWE, say they let anybody go, man, you have right back on the indie just making money just the way you did. And I feel like you're more profitable and yeah, man, just Like I said, it's all about money and feeding my family.
I think that's an accurate thing right there, because like when people do get let go from WWE or they leave WWE, they do have a much bigger name and a bigger fan base, which leads to them getting more of those bookings in various places, and then you still got other companies wanting to sign you because you have that coming off that WWE background. So yeah, I think that works out either way, honestly.
Oh, for sure. Like look at John Moxley, man. When he went to New Japan, man, I'm sure he made a heavy pocket. But yeah, just him being out there or anybody else, man. Look at Leo Rush. He out there killing it right now. I remember when he first started, man, and now he out there making it. Well, he already made a name for himself, but he's just continuing going and, being a former cruiserweight champion. Man, I know he'd be killing out like all the GCW shows I'll be seeing him on. And from when he first started, him and Velveteen Dream, man, like they wrestled for WXWC4 when they first started.
Maybe MCW too, right?
Yeah, they trained with MCW, and then when they first started, man, they were like managers for this guy who was originally Sonny Boy for the New Day. So they managed Sonny Boy in like a parish gimmick, or I forgot what kind of gimmick they were, but they had their face all taped up, and then we gave them their very first match as they were still training, man, and just seeing them from there to where they're at now, man, is awesome. Especially one of our students, Ace Austin, man, he came from our school, and man, to see him killing it in Impact, man, me personally, I like focusing on myself, but I like to also see other people that I grew up with and train with succeed in life.
All right. No, I feel you on that, man. So it's always good to see people that you came up with, move on to the next stages and, advance in that professional wrestling skill. But like, I was going to ask you, did you happen to see any of the collective shows this weekend, the GCW collective shows? You happen to catch any of that?
Nah, I actually didn't, man. I look on the results. I like to see what goes on there, man. I see, man, my boy Juicy out from California, man. He getting big shout out. He worked 15-hour day, jumped on a plane, flew out there, and just just to work on the ring crew, man. Like that's how important it is just to get your name out, man. You gotta do what you gotta do. And I hit him, man, because I work for American Airlines. So I got a pretty sweet gig, man. And
I was about to say that's
I
the
said,
nicest.
man, if you ever need help, man, like on plane tickets, anything, man, we got buddy passes. I help him out, man. Just a heart. You like to see that dedication, and man, I'm always there to help whoever. Just to make their dream come true, man. Like I try to help as many people as possible just to make it.
Yeah, I think the guy you just mentioned, I think I'm not mistaken. I think he was in the because they mentioned that story of him flying or getting a 15 some hour trip all the way to Indianapolis
he was in that cluster.
Yeah, the clusterfuck. Yeah, he was in there.
Yeah, he had like it was like a 3 or 4 man Samoan drop. He stacked 3 or 4 up on his shoulder.
They gave him his moment, man.
Yeah, man.
They gave him his moment. I think that was cool.
That's what he had to do, man. Now he's gonna be remembered for that, and man, that could lead to a lot of bookings in the future for him, man. He's still young. Like I met him when he was just training when I went out to California, and man, just to see him rise right now, grinding it's awesome.
Lastly, before we wrap it up here, Lance, let me ask you this: what would the Lance Anoa'i of today tell the Lance who was just starting in professional wrestling back in 2010, 2009? Like, what advice would you have for that young man right there?
Man, to slow down. Nah, yeah, man. Like I remember when I first started, man, I thought I had to do all these crazy spots. Like I was almost like a spot monkey, I feel like. But man, just to see how easy it is, like I was always told less is more, but I never really understood it until I got older and actually seen it. Like when I start getting in the ring with like guys like Dan Moff, who've been in the business for years, man, and just me and him could go out there. Our chemistry is great, and we don't do much at all. And we'll get This Is Awesome chance. We just like, man, just a story. We're able to breathe. We can wrestle a 30-minute match without blowing up. And man, just I wish I knew that like at a younger age. Like I used to do all these crazy flips, diving. Man, I broke my leg doing dives in the opening spots of matches. Man, it was it worth it? Yeah, but I probably could have saved a few years on my body, to be truthful.
Let me ask you that, like, real quick. I know I was just about to wrap it up, honestly, but
Nah,
like
you
when you
good, man. I'm in no rush, man.
okay, cool. But I was just about to ask you, like, when you suffer a serious injury like that, does it like do you think it's more of a mental strain on you opposed to like even the physical, like in the rehab? Because I think most of you guys are like physically capable of just being able to power through that and make it through and rehab properly. But like, do you think it's the mental part that really sucks the life out of you kind of way? Not I don't want to say suck the life out of you, but kind of like drains you a little bit more.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. Like when I broke my leg, man, like I wanted to get out there. But I knew mentally I wasn't able to. But man, but it drove me crazy because at the time I did it in the opening spot. I wrestled another 8-9 minutes with a broken leg,
Mm,
and then I drove 17 hours to Florida to be in a tag team tournament with my dad. But man, by the time I got there and drove, I was in so much pain. That's when I found out, and I told my grandfather. Once they casted my leg up, man, I told my grandfather I was still ready to go.
man.
But man, but
Mm.
I knew mentally, man, I wasn't able to. But it's still something I wanted to do. But
How long were you out
man,
after you broke your
honestly,
leg?
I thought I was gonna be out long. I ended up returning after like 2.5 months.
Mm.
Yeah,
Wow, to two
I,
months? That's
yeah,
crazy.
I broke my tibula.
Okay,
It snapped right in half, but it didn't move. It didn't do no damage, man.
okay,
So
okay.
it was
It was like a clean
half.
break kind of way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically, man. So I just cast it up, man. The drive, they said it probably would have been faster if I didn't drive because getting out to walk to the gas station, pay for gas, pump it, man, just all the in and out walking on it was very painful. And the doctor that checked it, man, he says, I don't know how you did it, man. You were a warrior. People wouldn't even be able to walk on it. And man, I just pumped it up and I just went and kept going because I knew I had to be somewhere. And I
Right.
still wasn't able. I got to enjoy my vacation though.
All right. Like, y'all some tough dudes, man. Because I remember it was actually last week. I think Riddick Moss that works for WWE. He had came out and revealed that he was the last 2 months he had been working with a torn ACL, and I was like you know what I'm saying, like a torn ACL. You've been working for a torn. And he said he never told anybody, like, because he was getting featured on Raw. He was on the Raw Underground thing, and he didn't want to ruin that opportunity, I guess. So he just, kept going until somebody figured out that he was messed up. And, of course, now I think now he about to undergo the surgery.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. Once you get that spot, man, that spot ain't promised to be there when you return. Like that's one part that stinks. Like you could be a name, you could be the top dog, like for instance, and then you come back, man, you right back at the bottom. You gotta work
Mm,
your way back up. Yeah,
mm.
we're not all John Cena where we can come back and the fans are right there with you. It all depends how long you're out, man. Like, but man, I'm sure they got a spot for him. I believe I've been in tryouts, like I said, and Riddick was always there helping all of us out, man. And WWE loves him, and I'm sure he'll have the opportunity to be at the top again where he was.
Yeah, you mentioned I know you've spoken highly of WWE in the past couple of minutes or so, and like you mentioned, somebody coming right back and being right on top. I think you know where I'm going with this. But Mr. Roman Reigns came back after six some months, maybe 6 months, maybe came
Oh
back
yeah,
and immediately right back on the top of the totem pole and WWE Universal Champion. Like I was gonna ask you, like, what do you think of the storyline he's involved in right now? Of course, being inside it, with Paul Heyman, and Paul Heyman, of course, has a close relationship with you guys' family. And then
man,
now Roman about to work Jey Uso in the Hell in a Cell. How do you think about how all this is played out?
man, I love it, man. Like it got my attention, but I know it got a lot of other people's attention. I think it's one of the best things going right now with the whole WWE. And family, man. Like, what chemistry is better? Like, a lot of people, like, I read like bad reviews about their first match, but it wasn't just about the match.
It
Because
was a
I
story,
personally,
man.
yeah, I thought they were gonna go out there and kill it, and man, but they killed it. But it was such an emotional way and great story, man. It was just told, and it wasn't gonna stop there. So they're just gonna keep building, man. And who knows where they're going with this? Hell in a Cell, man. What is it? I Quit match 2. I read.
Oh
I've
yeah,
seen.
yeah. I
Yeah,
quit
man.
match.
So it should definitely be good. I'm waiting to see one of them take the bump off the top of the Hell in a Cell, though.
Yeah, no, it's crazy because I think a lot of people like they've seen how the story is played out so far, and it's like kind of keeping it within the family type thing. So I think a lot of people are probably thinking Jimmy Uso might get a shot maybe at later down the line another pay per view, but I think people's ultimate goal of what they think is going to happen, of course, is he'll end up wrestling The Rock at Mania.
At Mania.
Yeah, at Mania 37. I mean, look, if we being completely honest, like if you talking about a Mania main event, I mean, you know, if you talking about selling something out, then you know, of course, if they're able to, you know, do it in LA as planned, but you know, there were some rumblings out there that they might still do it in Tampa next year. So I think that, you know, that'd be even more.
I read something about that, that they were possibly moving LA back another year and bringing it back to Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, like who knows, man? That's why I'm trying to get in the best shape possible right now. I got to drop this quarantine, man, and just start doing, man, because you know, family, you don't know what opportunities could come, man. They could call any of us from the family to go up against Roman at any time, man.
Yeah.
And we just got to be ready.
Yeah, it's gonna be, you know, it's gonna end up being y'all versus the Mysterios in a minute. They done got everybody. they done got everybody in the family. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
either way, man, I just want to be ready to go, and you know, opportunity comes, man. This time I gotta kill it because I know it's a shame, man. I had a little bit of opportunity, but you know, it got cut short because the whole Brock Lesnar promo went a little long, so they cut my time a little short. But man, it's all good. But we make it work this time if something happens.
Like, let me ask you this, going back to the Shane thing. Like, were you nervous at all, like being in the ring with Shane? Because I know that's, you know, of course you want to do well with him, but it's like at the same time that's still like the boss's son. Was there any nerves there, or did you feel kind of, you know, comfortable just, you know, going out there and, you know, working at how you guys worked it out?
Man, at first I didn't know what I was doing. Like they called me to come, and I had no idea like what I was there for, and that's when they told me. And then Shane came up to me, man. He was real cool. You know, we were just talking, rolling around in the ring, eating together, and catering, man. Like, he made me feel comfortable. And that's what I think what helped me out a lot, man. But, like, we performed right after, the AEW pay-per-view, man. And then once Shane started...
that was out of Double or Nothing. You're right.
Yeah, it was literally right after. And, man, like, you start getting the AEW chants. And then, man, as soon as I hit that drop kick, that's when the AEW chants stopped. And I was like, damn, man, I wish I could have got more in and just kept it going, but man, I just had to go with it, man.
All right. So Lance, before we wrap it up here, man, any final plugs you want to get in? You know, social media, merchandise links, YouTube, anything you want to plug, please do.
Man,
everything will be in the description of this video.
Oh, for sure, man. You can follow me up on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all at Lance Anoa'i. Last name Anoai. I know a lot of people have trouble spelling it. But also, man, yeah, you know, during this whole pandemic, we're all having troubles. I know every person is also. But I created a Pro Wrestling Tees store, man. Go to Lance Anoa'i Pro Wrestling Tees and purchase one of my shirts, man. And I'm sure it'll get to you. And once you receive it, man, post it. I'll retweet it and share it out, man. And for sure.
It is,
but I appreciate you being on it, man, inviting me and having me.
Oh, yeah, no problem, man. No problem. Ladies and gentlemen, you just heard it from the man himself. That is Lance Anoa'i. Go buy up all of his merchandise. Go buy up all of it on Pro Wrestling Tees, man. Go buy up everything. But this is Lance Anoa'i. I'm Andrew Thompson of the Andrew Thompson Interview YouTube channel, and we are out. Peace.
Sure.